Good morning, oh my God.
I feel like, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the regular meeting of the Cumberland Fire District to order. It's June 27th, 2017. Would we let us take a roll call, first of all? Commissioner Jones.
Jones, here.
Commissioner Santoro.
Present.
Commissioner Archimo.
Here.
Commissioner Hogan.
Here.
Commissioner Scullin.
Here.
And Commissioner Champagne is not present. Solicitor Morris.
I'm here.
And Willette is here. Okay, could we please stand? Have a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and be seated. You say that at school. God. All right, general announcements. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? Chief? No? Okay. All right, let us move to the agenda.
You can take the consent agenda all at once if you'd like.
Thank you. I would like that.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to go with the consent agenda, approval of minutes from 5:23, 5:25, and 6:08. Motion to accept by Commissioner Santoro. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Archibald, second. All in favor of accepting the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Okay, communications. Can I get to it?
There are none.
There are none. There are no communications. Old business. No old business. New business. Finance report. Mrs. Carol Ocean, would you like to tell us about finances, Cumberland Fire Department?
We have been very busy. Our tax bills were prepared, were mailed about 2 weeks ago. Happy to report that we've collected over $1 million.
Over $1 million?
Yes.
Okay.
And we are probably getting 20-to-1 payments in full as opposed to the quarterlies. So that's given us a good jump start on our cash flow. Because we are nearing the end of our budget and cash flow is tight.
Okay. Can we, so let us assume that the majority of people are going to be paid by July 15th. If at the July meeting, we could get just a percentage of those people who paid in full versus a percentage of those people who are going to pay quarterly.
We are tracking most of those payments and separating them so that we can keep track. And we did last year as well, and I think it was determined maybe somewhere between 50 and 60% paid in full.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what that will be like this year. It's unpredictable right now.
So
we're hoping for at least that.
Our next meeting is July 25th. So let's have a target date of July 20th, as of July 20th.
Okay.
Can we get a percentage of those people who have paid in full versus
yes.
Those, and you know, I don't know, or those people who have paid their first quarter of that?
We can get a pretty close estimate, yes.
I'm sorry?
We can get it pretty close.
Good. That would be great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anything else?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner?
Diane, do we have any incentive for people to pay in full?
We do not.
I think that would be something we should look into because it doesn't, you know,
Right.
a couple of percentage off or whatever the case may, I don't know what the town does.
We did look into that. The town, I believe, gives 2%.
Okay.
That would have added to the tax rate.
Oh, okay.
So, because we
Yeah.
have to pay for that.
Right.
If we now have 50% of the people that pay in full, offering an incentive might increase that number. So we did determine how much that was going to cost us, and I think it was 2 or 3 cents on the tax rate. We were going to have to raise the taxes, so we determined at this point in time not to do that. But I'm hoping.
I mean, that's
in the
pretty
future.
good. You get 50-60% of the people paying the
Right.
full note, so.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Carolusha? Excellent. Moving on. Chief's report. Chief, tell us about what was going on in May.
May was a fairly busy month for us in community events. We participated in 2 events at the Bear Hill Village. One was just a regular village residents meeting, somewhat of a sit-down meet and greet with the firefighters, and the other one was a Veterans Recognition Day just before Memorial Day, in which our honor guard led all of the veterans that reside at Bear Hill Village into the community room, and a 3-member Navy band brass ensemble entertained them for about 45 minutes. We did a mock vehicle crash just before. It was postponed for a couple of weeks due to some issues at the high school, but we did do a mock vehicle crash to demonstrate the effects of impaired driving to those juniors and seniors during prom season. It was Mr. Principal Tenero's idea, and we followed through on it and made a pretty good effect. At first, there were many snickers and jokes up until the point where they wanted to have 2 of the victims as deceased, and then it suddenly hit home. So it did drive the point, and we got real good feedback from the high school with that event. I don't know if that will become a yearly event. Principal Tenero has moved on, and I haven't spoken with his successor yet to see just what. I'm sure there's plenty that she has to do to get up to speed. So this will be, in our mind, something we'd like to do on an annual event because we had really no incidents this year, which is a first.
Oh, that's great news.
We were fortunate through the efforts of firefighter Grenier, who has been involved in the Arson Watch poster campaign. He went out to a few of the schools, and one of the art teachers at the North Cumberland Middle School picked up and emphasized it, and we were fortunate that from the Mass, Rhode Island community, 2 of our students were recognized for a first place and a second place at a luncheon at the Marriott in Providence. Now, of all the school districts in the 2 states, getting 2 students recognized was quite inspiring for me. And these posters that the students submitted are used in the Arson Watch calendar next year, so they get distributed throughout New England. It was a very nice luncheon, very nice award that they received, plus the recognition. Unfortunately, we didn't really get the step-up recognition to follow it with the local papers that we were hoping for. But, myself, the deputies, firefighter Grenier, and the chairwoman all attended the event. So, in addition to that, we gave both of the students fire department T-shirts as just a symbol from us, and asked them to spread the word to their classmates for next year and the underclassmen coming in.
Very few for the rest of the board, I've been involved in the Awesome Watch poster contest since I started working with the Department of Fire Services. I'm actually one of the judges, and when I was judging, I had no idea these kids were from Cumberland. I had no idea. We don't look at the backs because all the information is on the back. We are not allowed. We keep it. We take our judging very seriously, and so I was quite surprised that they both came from Cumberland. That was kind of cool. But these kids, there are so few people in Rhode Island that participate that, you know, if we can continue doing this in Cumberland, we can continue having some winners. And it's a cash award. They win a lot of money in this.
Yeah.
They got a huge trophy,
Yeah.
a lot of money, and their picture will be, and I'll make sure we all get we'll all get a copy of the calendar next year. As soon as they're out, I'll make sure we get some. And, you know, I was really proud of them, very, very proud of them that they were so successful.
This is all sponsored through the Rhode Island Mass Insurance
Yep.
Agents.
Mass Fair Plan.
They fund this whole thing, so that's pretty cool to have an outside agency recognize them. So,
Thank you.
on the health and safety aspect, we continued. We sent 4 members to Boston for a 2-day health and safety seminar. Predominantly, it was focused on the cancer screening that was done in the city of Boston over a 5-year period, and the effects of not dressing and not being protected from carcinogens in the smoke. So the guys have brought that back, and we've been doing in-service training on that to try to protect our own, as we all should. And firefighters Grenier and Sinkmars are both completing the firefighter peer support program to recognize issues that are transpiring in the department to help our members. So I'm proud of all of them guys for stepping up on their own time to do a service for their brothers that might be in need. Yes?
Will they be helping other departments as well, I understand? Not just Cumberland firefighters, but...
Oh, no, it's a statewide initiative.
What's that?
It's statewide.
Statewide, okay,
Yeah,
great.
I'm not saying it was open to the state. I believe there's 60 members participating. I don't know if every department is represented or not. But it's a good cross conveyance of members throughout the local area. And we're in the 8th round of the AFG grants, of which I applied for EMS equipment, and not me personally, but the department applied for EMS equipment and a ladder truck. And sorry to report that in the 8th round, there have only been 3 vehicles awarded in the first 8 rounds. All 3 vehicles have been pumpers, and they've all gone to state fire academies, and their total grant awards were between $310,000 and $340,000. So with the aspect that we're not going to be successful, I think that we need to look at an alternative. So through some exploration, we've located a 2010 Pierce ladder truck in Maryland, which 6 of us are going to travel to tomorrow to look at. The initial photos of the truck got us intrigued. We had some more communications with the department, and it led to that we should just explore this as an alternative. The asking price for the truck in Maryland is $465,000. We had already committed in the grant $400,000. $300 from the truck fund, and then $100,000 in a 10% co-share, which is the match base in the grant program. I'm not saying that this is going to be the perfect solution. I'm not even saying it's going to be a purchasable solution. I'm just saying that we have to go look at some alternatives so that we're not boxed in with having no ladder trucks in the town. You've heard me with the amount of repairs that we've had on the 2 ladder trucks. We need to have a different alternative and a different perspective as to our needs and what we should be looking at. So we're going to take a look tomorrow, and we'll be reporting back after we see for ourselves what the pluses and minuses are of the vehicle.
Oh, good luck. Commissioner Scully.
Chief, this trip tomorrow,
Yes,
where are the funds coming from for this trip?
contingency. Contingency line item.
I'm just wondering, shouldn't this trip have been authorized by the board first?
It was only it was less than $1,000, and usually all the other authorizations were $2,500 or more.
I'm just looking at the fact that we're sending firefighters out of town, so they're representing the department. Is there any liability issues if they get hurt out there? Are they on duty?
I would believe they'd be on duty. They're on official department business.
Commissioner Scully, I had talked with the chief about this, and it was under $1,000. And I did not have, it's a time-sensitive type of situation where they had to get down there. They had to make the flight arrangements. And so I said, go ahead.
My other question on this ladder, is this a straight ladder or is this a quint?
No, this is a straight ladder.
Straight ladder.
We're looking at some alternatives that the Captain Anderson has discovered with portable calf systems that are being built for these type of trucks that were purchased as straight ladders, and then the need for a water supply was uncovered. And it basically started with units that were placed on landfill apparatus, bulldozers and front end loaders, where they would have small fires start in the landfill, and they would just have the water and the compressed air foam to extinguish the initial fire in a small incipient stage. And they adapted from that into fitting these things into like 4 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot containers that you could fit right in a compartment. So Shipman Fire, which we do business with in Waterford, Connecticut, is a distributor for one of these models, and he had offered to bring it up. I just told him to hold off until after we seen the truck to see if there was actually, if we were going to move forward. But we do have a contingency plan to have water on the truck, and with a CAF system, a compressed air foam system, 60 gallons of water transfers with the air and the foam into about 700 to 800 gallons of usable extinguishing agent.
Do we have a price on that system?
No. I didn't get a price on it because we don't even know if we're going to move forward with
I just wondered
this
if you had a
truck.
price, okay.
You know, we're getting, I didn't want to get too far ahead, because as soon as you talk to a salesman and you get a price from them, then I'm on the phone with them every 3 days wanting to know when the purchase order is going to come forward.
Okay.
Commissioner Scott, I'm just wondering, did you have to buy a ladder truck when you were in the valley, when you were on that board?
Yes, truck one was bought.
Truck one was bought. Because I think that with your expertise in terms of that, perhaps at some point in time, let's see what happens with this, or, maybe in the next month you could let us know how you went about and, the whole procedure of purchasing that. It would be really helpful. It would definitely be helpful to me.
Well, that truck was bought brand new, and we had a truck building committee, the whole 9 yards, and that was, at the end of the day, even though we put all the bells and whistles, it still broke down constantly anyway, because it was brand new.
All right, good point.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're all great when they run, and they all give us headaches when they break. But, I've talked to different manufacturers, different fire chiefs who have all different manufacturers at the New England Fire Chiefs Conference last week. And there's no set, rock-solid apparatus builder, because they're dependent on aftermarket components for the computer systems, and you can get a good circuit board 18 times, but if you're the 19th truck with the bad circuit board, you have grief. So, and that's going to be the downfall for all of these apparatuses. You know, there's so much electronics and safety equipment mandated on them for overrides and interlocks that you get a sensor that gets wet and shorts out, your truck's disabled.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Chief?
Engine 5 has finally got the engine put back together.
Excellent.
And I can say there was no leaks. We picked it up and we went and pumped with it for a continuous amount of time to make sure it wasn't going to overheat when it was at idle. And unfortunately, I don't have the bill for that one yet. That is one of the reasons why I won't buy another Detroit. It was 32 days to get all of the pieces to put it back together. Because they're just, when you don't go back to factory service, they make it difficult for you.
Thank you. Is that it?
Chief,
That's
the, on the breakdown of the calls, the service call, what does that mean? A 8 service calls, or 26 service calls?
That's either helping somebody up
Okay.
off the floor, or helping to get them from a vehicle back into the house. Some of them are just a lockout, where either the kids were in the house and they locked the parents out, or vice versa. It's anything that was a single response that was handled with no fire, no detectives involved, just like a public assist.
And special incident? It's just something out of the ordinary, it's just kind of in the category?
Yeah, special incidents, I'd have to go back and pull that one up. And I can't exactly tell you what that one was. There was a couple peculiar things that happened during the month that's how the officer might have classified it.
It might have been the tree down or something like that, right?
No.
No? Okay. No problem. Thank you, Chief.
Any other questions? All right, moving on. For resolutions. And this is Resolution 2017-18, authorizing the tax collector to abate. The tax collector has determined that property at 148 Bryant Street was sold before the tax sale process began, and therefore has been removed for further legal action. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Cumberland Fire District as follows: the tax collector is authorized to abate as shown above. Motion to adopt. Motion by Commissioner Santoro. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. All in favor of authorizing the tax collector to abate this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Next resolution, number 19, authorizing the finance director to pay Ralco Equipment Company an amount not to exceed $2,943. Ralco is contracted to make repairs to Truck 5. All repairs have been made with the approval of the chief. Therefore, be it resolved that the finance director is authorized to pay Ralco Equipment Company an amount not to exceed $2,943.27. Is there a motion on the table?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion to accept from Commissioner Achimo, and seconded by Commissioner Santoro.
Discussion.
Is there a discussion?
Chief. I don't remember if Truck 5 was when Socket had it and broke it, right? Did they pay for it while they broke it?
The break that occurred in Woonsocket, they repaired.
Okay, thank you. This is separate.
Then it came back to us. We put it in service as Truck 1. While Truck 1 was out having the aerial fixed, and it developed an air leak, and while it was there, we decided it needed a preventive maintenance, so that was done along with an inspection. The on-spot chains, the chain unit themselves failed years ago, but the arms were still there, and they were rubbing on the inside tire, so I just had them take them off while they were under there.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of accepting Resolution 2017-19, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Resolution number 20, authorizing the finance director to pay Ralco Equipment an amount not to exceed $11,602.19. Ralco was contracted to make repairs to Truck 1. All repairs have been made with the approval of the chief. Therefore, be it resolved that the finance director is authorized to pay Ralco Equipment an amount not to exceed $11,602.19. Is there a motion on the table?
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept by Commissioner Archibald,
A second.
seconded by Commissioner Santoro. Any discussion?
Yeah, just real quick. Chief, I'd like to recognize, I guess publicly, that Ralco is giving us a pretty good discount on the service.
Ralco has been tremendous to the Cumberland Fire District. They will stop whatever they are doing if I am in need of something, and it doesn't matter if it's in their yard or in the street somewhere. They have come out in the snow to get us going. Their labor rates and their service has been phenomenal. I have absolutely no issues with them. Everything that is listed here, we knew going into the repair. When they pulled the drums off, they found the wheels, 2 of the wheel seals were leaking. And you're right there. The labor's already done. It doesn't make sense not to do the wheel seals. You're only going to ruin the brakes that you're putting on. So they called and they said, come down and, we'll show you. And I endorsed it, while I was there. So we did all 4 wheel seals not to have an issue. They have been above and beyond accommodating to us.
I was just and they're giving us a 10% discount, $10 an hour off.
Yeah.
And they're charging us, what, 8 hours less service than they actually did, so, that's something to recognize, for the town. They're helping us out in town. That's great.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Santoro, for bringing that up. I appreciate that, and I think that's important for us to acknowledge Ralco publicly. Thank you. Hearing any further discussion?
We didn't vote, did we?
Hearing none, let's... what?
Yeah. No.
Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of accepting resolution number 20, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes
Motion, motion to adjourn.
Public input. Is there anyone in the public who would like to say anything, tell us a story, congratulate us on a good 6 months and welcome us into FY 2018? Anyone here going to run in the Arnold Mills Road Race next Saturday?
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, next Tuesday.
No way.
What about the whole board?
Yeah.
I'll be there taking pictures.
Chief, any of the guys gonna run in gear this year? Guys used to run in gear, remember that?
I have some runners. I don't know if they're running in the race or not.
Wow.
Well, we'll see. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm not running. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Hogan. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourning today's meeting. Thank you very much. See you in FY 18.